Hi friends, this is Saurabh Agrawal. I am going to take a subject known as network analysis. Most of you know about network analysis. This subject is applicable in electronics engineering as well as in electrical engineering, or you can say it is applicable in various subjects of electronics as well as in electrical engineering. So my motto of sharing these videos here is just because you to understand the concepts of network. You will find the application of this subject in various competitive examinations like GATE, engineering services, PSUs and state engineering services, and you might have been going to be appear for this examination in your coming year or after that. So once the concept of this subject is clear, then only you can easily able to solve the problems. And I have seen that most of the students, they are not able to understand the problem and committing a lot of mistakes, and one cannot able to find the solution of the problem, and it basically results in loss of time during the examination. So my friends, I have designed this entire course in some different segments. In my coming videos you will see how I have designed this course in different segments, and under those all segments, I can call it as subtopics, you will find the course as well as the problem solving session. So first of all, we will go through the concept building, and then we will go through the problem solving session. So it will be more helpful for you to understand the topic one by one. So there are a lot of topics which I have covered. Only my request to all of you who are going through my videos, the very important thing, please don't skip any of the video. However, the length of the videos are long, yes, but don't skip any of the video because you are not able to understand the concept. So go through every video, go through the every problem sessions which I have covered here, just for your understanding purpose. I am making this video only to make your knowledge valuable, and your knowledge which you could apply in your examination, and one can able to clear the examinations. Okay, because you have seen there are a lot of competition going on. So if network analysis subject, if it is good, you can find the application of this subject in various other subjects of electrical as well as electronics, and once the concept is clear, you can easily able to solve the problems. Like I have going to take an example of KCL, KVL, which is most basic concepts, and if it is not clear, you never able to solve the questions. So I have designed this subject especially for all of you to understand this subject in a very easiest manner. So if you find this video helpful to you and all the later videos which are going to help you in the future, please like it, share it and comment it, and please share with your all friend so that everybody is going to understand, and these videos will going to help you in your future endeavor. Thank you, and please go through my all videos. Thanks to all of you. Okay, so we start with the topics. Let me first explain you about what are the topics I am going to cover under this subject. So if I start with this is our subject known as network analysis. The subtopics which is covered under the subjects first is basics of the network. You will find what are the basics of the network. We will discuss in detail about the basics of the network. Yes, these are the basic building concept. So we must have to understand about the basics of the network. What are the very basics which is applicable while solving the problems. Okay, the second one is your KCL and KVL analysis. You will find once you understand KCL and KVL analysis, you can able to solve any type of complex network. Like you will find in transistors also, you will find in operational amplifiers also, you will find in FETs also. Okay, so there are different areas of electronics in which KCL and KVL is largely applicable, and if the concept of KCL KVL is not clear to you, you can't able to solve the problems, and there is always a problem in the finding out the solutions. Okay, so I will explain you the very basics of KCL KVL and in a very easiest manner. Okay, the third one is Network's theorem. We will see what are the theorems which we covered under this topic. There are a lot of theorems in networks, and one by one we will cover all the theorems. The fourth topic which I have designed especially for you is application of op-amp based circuit. You will find in today's, for last 4 to 5 years I have seen there are problems used to come with the help of operational amplifier. So there are certain specific applications of op-amp in networks. So how those applications will be used and how we are able to solve those questions with the help of applying concept of networks, we will see in application of op-amp based circuits. The next very important topic is initial conditions of first and second order circuit. You have seen this is one of the most difficult and important topic of network, and I have seen student finds a lot of problem in this topic. So if you remain with me in the entire series, you will very easily able to understand the concept of initial conditions. Yes, I will explain you initial condition for first order circuits also and for second order circuits also. However, second order circuits problem are not that much coming in the examination, but yes, I will explain you what are the basics of second order and we will go through the lot of problem solving criteria. The next topic which I am going to cover here is basics of AC circuit. Very important topic, basics of AC circuit, because again this is also a difficult topic for all engineering students, especially when you come to the AC analysis. So that also I will explain you in a very detailed way and in a very easiest way. One can able to understand the concepts of AC circuits. The next one is in AC itself. There are one more subtopic which is very important, known as AC power analysis, where we find the concept of how to solve the AC circuits finding their power, because there are different type of power in ACs. In DC it is different and AC it is different. Okay, that we will discuss later. The next topic which I am going to cover is magnetically coupled circuits. Yes, you will find different type of ticklish problem from this circuit. So this is also one of the topic which I am going to cover here. The next is your resonance. You know about the resonance, but yes, we will discuss detail about the resonance, how it is applicable in networks. Okay, the next topic is two-port parameters. Yes, and the last one is network topology. So you can say in around I am going to cover 11 topic in network analysis, based on your views, based on your comments, based on your share. If you demand some additional topic also from me, time to time we may discuss for those topics also. So this is all the topics which we are going to cover under the network analysis subject. So the topic under network analysis, which was I discussed in my previous video, that is basics of network. So under basics of network, the first is type of networks. So you can say there are these many types of different type of networks available. So here it is around 8 class of network which is available in the networks. First of all, we'll come to the linear networks. So linear networks are those network, very important, keep in mind, Ohm's law superposition theorem. Here I am talking about Ohm's law, then superposition theorem, and then I will talk about some of the physical parameters like temperature, humidity. Yes, so whenever we are talking about the linear networks are those networks in which their physical parameters are independent of temperature and humidity. Okay, like there are certain other points are also there, but yes, these are the network in which there is no effect of temperature and humidity upon the characteristic of the networks. So I can say the network which consists of RLC elements are basically known as linear networks. The one more important thing which you have to always keep in mind, linear networks are those in which Ohm's law is applicable. Okay, we will discuss about the Ohm's law, and I think all of you know about what is Ohm's law. Next is the principle of superposition theorem, that we will discuss in our theorem analysis, but for the time being I will going to explain you about the superposition theorem. So if superposition theorem is applicable Ohm's law is applicable and elements are their physical parameters are independent of temperature and humidity, then you can say such type of networks are known as linear network. So here the network which is basically consists of RLC elements are known as linear networks. You can understand more by repeating my video. Okay, there is no issue. So here one by one I am explaining you. This is all about the linear network. When it comes to the non-linear network, so definitely in linear network both are applicable. In non-linear network these are not applicable. The concept of Ohm's law and superposition is not applicable. Okay, and in non-linear, just now I have talked about the linear, now I am talking about the non-linear networks. So in case of non-linear networks, Ohm's law and superposition is not applicable, and the I can say the elements which are present in the non-linear networks are basically dependent upon the physical parameters like temperature and humidity. So here the very important thing is, I take an example of diode and transistor. When transistor is connected and diode is connected in a certain network, then diode and transistors are basically temperature dependent because it is a semiconductor devices, and you know about semiconductor devices changes their property depending upon the temperature and humidity under certain specific conditions. So such class of network is coming under the non-linear category. Okay, I think you understand with the non-linear. Now come to the next point, that is bilateral network. Yes, the next network is our bilateral network. So what are bilateral networks? By the definition we understand that these are the network in which the very important parameter is direction of current. Now I am talking about the bilateral network. So bilateral networks are those networks in which there is no effect of change of direction of current in the network. Okay, if you change the direction of current, there is no as such effect in the network property. Okay, so such type of networks are known as bilateral network. Again, you can say the network consisting of RLC elements. Okay, the network which consists of RLC element in which the direction of current does not play a much role. If you change the direction of current, there is no effect on the network. So such type of network is known as bilateral network. Okay, now come to the next, that is unilateral network. Please see here. Now I am talking about the unilateral network. So unilateral network, again there is a concept of direction current. If the direction of current changes, then there is a major effect in such type of network. In previous one there is no effect of direction of current, but if in this type of network is there any direction, if it is there any change in the direction of the current, then the network property changes. So you can say such type of network consists of diode as well as transistors. Yes, so you know about, just I am taking an example of diode. If the current is flowing in this direction and if it is positive, it is negative, so you call it as forward bias. And if the direction of the current is changes, so this is now under reverse bias. First it was under forward bias and next it was under reverse bias. So property changes, you know. Okay, so here the very important thing is direction of the current. So once the direction of current changes, the network is affected. Okay, so such type of network is known as unilateral network. Now come to the next network known as active network. So what are active networks? Active networks are those networks which consist of independent sources. Okay, we will discuss what is independent sources, but for the time being you just put in your mind, active networks are those network which are you can say activated by some independent source, either it is a voltage source or it is a current source. So you can say that some of the activity based network must be present, activity based element must be present in the network, so you can call it as active network. So network consists of current source as well as voltage source are known as active network. Okay, network consists of current source and voltage source. Okay, and what the property of source is, it is independent in nature. So you can say it is current source, is known as voltage source. So this is all about the active network. Now come to the next type of network, which is known as passive network. So passive network is one in which no source is present. So I can say passive networks are those network which does not contain any source. It is only consist of RLC elements. So once the network is not initiated by any of the sources, it is coming under the category of passive network. So generally a circuit which consists of RLC elements, either parallel, series or whatever in the form, such type of networks category is known as passive network. Once we go through this subject in different problems, I will show you the examples of these networks also. Okay, just now here we are simply discussing, but while solving the problem I am going to explain you about what are linear network, what are non-linear, what are bilateral, what are unilateral, what are active, what are passive. Okay, so the concept will going to be very clear. Now the next one is lumped network. Yes, these two class of network is something a different network, not applicable in networks analysis subject, but yes, since it is a category of network I am going to explain here. So one is lumped network, another one is distributed network. There is a definition of lumped and distributed network. I will just explain you in a bits, like the network in which RLC element are separable. It means one can able to realize the RLC element by separating them. Okay, it means RLC element is visible and easily separable. I write two words, visible and separable. Whenever, see, I can say a circuit consists of RLC element. Yes, the RLC element are also visible, and if you want to separate those elements, yes, you can able to separate those elements. So it is separable. Such type of networks are coming in the category of lumped networks. Okay, this is the category of lumped network. And when we come to the category of distributed network, again in distributed network you can say the RLC elements are not visible as well as not separable. Definitely we have to apply certain models to analyze such type of networks. Yes, this is just a concept. Okay, not visible and not separable means the best example is transmission line. Okay, in electricals or in electronics also you will study in microwaves about the transmission lines. So in transmission lines you will not find the RLC, I mean it is not visible here, as well as once it is not visible you cannot separate it. So RLC elements in this type of network is not easily is not visible as well as not separable, but these transmission lines are solved with the help of concept of network, networks. Okay, so the network in which the RLC elements are not visible and separable, such type of networks are known as distributed networks. So I think you understand with all type of network there are 8 categories. Okay, so The next topic which I am going to cover under basics of network is known as independent and dependent sources. There are two type of sources applicable in the entire network analysis subject in different type of problems under all the subtopics of network what we have already discussed. So you have to understand about what are the independent sources and what are the dependent sources. So please concentrate here. Independent sources are, there are two type of independent sources. One which is a current source, I write it as current source, and another one is VS, I call it as voltage source. So what are the sign convention of this current source and voltage source? Please keep in mind, current source is represented in this manner and voltage source is represented in this manner. Here it is I, here it is V. Please keep in mind, the independent source in network is always represented in this manner. This is a general representation of current source which is independent in nature, voltage source again which is independent in nature. So these are the two type of sources in network which is independent in nature, and you will find a lot of applications of these sources while solving the network problems. Okay, so this is all about the independent sources.